The year was 1941, Pearl Harbor, a date etched in history, a day that changed everything. Fear gripped the nation, fear of the enemy, fear of the unknown. In the aftermath of the attack, a wave of prejudice and suspicion washed over America, directed at Japanese Americans. They were seen as the enemy, simply because of their ancestry. The air crackled with fear and distrust. Whispers turned into accusations. Neighbors became strangers. The very fabric of American society seemed to unravel. It was a time when reason and logic were overshadowed by fear and prejudice. For Japanese Americans, life as they knew it vanished. Their loyalty to America was questioned, their patriotism doubted. They were suddenly viewed with suspicion, their faces reflecting the fear and confusion that had gripped the nation. In this climate of fear and uncertainty, a dark chapter in American history was about to unfold. A chapter marked by injustice, prejudice, and the mass incarceration of over 120,000 innocent people, two-thirds of whom were American citizens. On February 19, 1942, President Franklin D. Roosevelt signed Executive Order 9066. This order authorized the military to designate areas from which any or all persons may be excluded. It led to the forced removal and incarceration of Japanese Americans from their homes along the West Coast. General John L. DeWitt, influenced by fears of espionage, saw all Japanese Americans as potential threats. Entire communities were affected, given days to dispose of their belongings. The forced sale of property resulted in significant financial losses. They were sent to hastily constructed internment camps, euphemistically called relocation centers. Manzanar, a desolate stretch of land in the Owens Valley of California, one of 10 internment camps where Japanese Americans were imprisoned. Barbed wire fences, armed guards in towers, a stark reminder of their captivity. The windswept dust and searing heat became constant companions. Families lived in cramped, tar paper-covered barracks, furnished only with cots and a single light bulb. Privacy was non-existent. Communal bathrooms and dining halls became the norm. The loss of privacy and dignity was a constant source of humiliation. Despite the harsh conditions, a sense of community endured. People supported each other, sharing what little they had. Schools were established, offering a semblance of normalcy for the children. Religious services provided solace and hope. However, the ever-present barbed wire fences and armed guards served as a constant reminder of their unjust confinement. The psychological toll was immense. The experience of being labeled the enemy within their own country left deep scars on the souls of Japanese Americans. Within the confines of Manzanar, stories of resilience unfolded daily. Families adapted to their harsh new reality. They found ways to maintain their dignity and traditions. They celebrated birthdays, weddings, and holidays, clinging to remnants of their former lives. Grandparents shared stories of their homeland, Japan, keeping their culture alive for future generations. Mothers cooked traditional Japanese meals, using whatever meager ingredients they could find. Children played baseball, their laughter echoing through the desolate landscape. One poignant story is that of a young woman named Hanako. She arrived at Manzanar pregnant and gave birth to her son within the camp's confines. Despite the challenging conditions, Hanako was determined to provide a loving and nurturing environment for her child. She found solace in caring for her son, her spirit unbroken by the injustice surrounding her. Hanako's story, like many others, exemplifies the resilience of the human spirit. Even in the face of adversity, Japanese Americans found strength in their community, their culture, and their unwavering belief in a better future. Section 5. Education in Confinement, Preserving Identity and Culture. Education became a lifeline for the children of Manzanar. Schools were hastily established, staffed by interned teachers and volunteers. Despite limited resources, education provided normalcy and hope. Classes were held in converted barracks, often with students sitting on the floor. They persevered, eager to learn and embrace knowledge. Teachers played a crucial role in preserving cultural identity. They taught Japanese language classes, ensuring the survival of their native tongue. Cultural events showcased traditional dances, music, and art. These efforts fostered pride and belonging among the interned children. Education in Manzanar became a testament to resilience and hope. It demonstrated the commitment of the Japanese American community to preserve their cultural heritage and educate their children, even in adversity. Section 6. Finding hope in desolation, artistic expressions of the interned. Even in the desolation of Manzanar, art flourished as a form of expression, resistance, and solace. Interned artists captured the realities of camp life through various mediums. Their art became a powerful testament to the human spirit's ability to find beauty and meaning even in the darkest of times. Painters like Chiura Obata transformed scraps of wood and found materials into canvases. His watercolors depicted the stark beauty of the Sierra Nevada mountains, offering a glimpse of the world beyond the barbed wire. Photographers documented daily life in the camps. Their images captured the resilience of the internees, their struggles, and their small triumphs. These photographs serve as a poignant reminder of this dark chapter in American history. Through their art, the internees of Manzanar transformed their experiences into powerful expressions of resilience, creativity, and hope. Section 7. Loyalty questioned, patriotism tested, the struggle for justice. The internment of Japanese Americans was a blatant violation of their civil rights. Many young men, eager to prove their loyalty to America, volunteered for military service. They served with distinction in the segregated 442nd Regimental Combat Team, becoming one of the most decorated units in U.S. military history. Their bravery on the battlefields of Europe stood in stark contrast to the injustice they and their families faced back home. They fought for a country that had imprisoned their loved ones based solely on their ancestry, a stark reminder of the hypocrisy of the internment policy. Inside the camps, resistance to the unjust internment grew. Legal challenges were mounted against Executive Order 9066. Newspapers were established, providing a platform for internees to voice their concerns and advocate for their rights. Despite facing discrimination and prejudice, Japanese Americans continued to fight for their freedom and equality. Their unwavering belief in the American ideals of justice and equality fueled their struggle for redress and recognition. Section 8. Beyond Manzanar, the long road to redress and recognition. The closure of the internment camps did not erase the injustice inflicted upon Japanese Americans. The scars of internment ran deep, impacting families for generations. The fight for redress and recognition was a long and arduous journey. In 1948, President Harry Truman signed the Evacuation Claims Act, allowing Japanese Americans to seek compensation for some of their financial losses. However, the process was lengthy and often resulted in inadequate compensation. It was not until 1988 that the Civil Liberties Act was passed, formally acknowledging the injustice of the internment and granting reparations to surviving internees. Each surviving internee received $20,000 and a formal apology from the U.S. government. The passage of the Civil Liberties Act marked a significant victory in the fight for justice. It acknowledged the government's wrongdoing and served as a reminder of the importance of safeguarding civil liberties, especially in times of crisis. Section 9. Scars of Internment, a legacy of loss and resilience. The legacy of Japanese American internment is a complex and multifaceted one. It is a story of loss, resilience, and the enduring power of the human spirit. While the physical scars of internment may have faded, the emotional and psychological impact continues to resonate through generations. Many families struggled to rebuild their lives after their release from the camps. They faced discrimination in housing, employment, and education. The trauma of their experiences left an indelible mark, shaping their worldview and influencing their life choices. Despite the challenges, Japanese Americans persevered. They rebuilt their lives, communities, and businesses. They instilled in their children the importance of education, hard work, and civic engagement. Their story is a testament to the strength and resilience of the human spirit in the face of adversity. Section 10. Lessons from Manzanar. A call for vigilance and understanding. The story of Manzanar is not just a historical event, it is a stark reminder of the fragility of civil liberties and the dangers of prejudice and fear-mongering. It serves as a cautionary tale, urging us to be vigilant in protecting the rights of all, regardless of their race, ethnicity, or religion. In today's world, where fear and prejudice continue to fuel discrimination and violence, it is more important than ever to remember the lessons of Manzanar. We must learn from the mistakes of the past to prevent similar injustices from happening again. Education plays a vital role in combating prejudice and promoting understanding. By learning about the internment of Japanese Americans, we can gain a deeper appreciation for the importance of tolerance, empathy, and respect for all. Section 11. Honoring the past, shaping the future, never again. As we reflect on the legacy of Japanese-American internment, we must remember that the fight for justice and equality is ongoing. We must honor the sacrifices of those who endured this injustice by working to create a more just and equitable society for all. We must challenge prejudice and discrimination wherever we see it. We must stand up for the rights of the marginalized and the oppressed. We must never forget the lessons of Manzanar and ensure that such a travesty never happens again. Let us strive to create a future where diversity is celebrated, where all are treated with dignity and respect, and where the words never again ring true for all Americans. Let the memory of Manzanar serve as a beacon, guiding us towards a more just and compassionate future.